Then you get to Bsimcha, joy. Joy is a pleasure. Joy makes you feel good about yourself. Joy lifts everyone around you. Joy is probably the greatest sense of energy and euphoria and pleasure that absolutely envelops you. This is true joy, right? So what is Simcha? Simcha is a power. It's not a happening, right? You're commanded to be sameach bechelko, to take joy in your point in life. So there's an idea that says nevuah, prophecy, can only be given, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, prophecy can only be given at a moment of simcha. So it asks the question, how is it possible that Yirmiyahu, right, that the prophets, how could they have been given nevuah? It's like, bad days are happening, right? How can you say that they're b'simcha? So the idea is that they were b'simcha, but they weren't, it wasn't oneg, right? Oneg is the pleasure you take in the moment. Simcha is the pleasure and the joy that you take in potential. Right? Oneg is the pleasure you take in the moment. We're playing baseball and you got a hit and you're running and it's great, right? That's the pleasure, pure joy of the moment. Shabbos is supposed to be about oneg. Shabbos is about enjoying the day, right? Simcha is about the potential. That's why a bris is a simcha, a baby that's entering a Jewish life. A wedding is a simcha, a couple that's entering marriage. A bar mitzvah, a boy who's starting in the path of adulthood. All of these things where it's the potential of what you start, right? It's not what you're enjoying at the moment, it's what can possibly arise, right? What's coming from what you're building. So simcha, the power of simcha, see, it wouldn't say oneg, painig, right? You say, what are the 5 tools, right? Attitudes of wisdom. One of them is have a blast, right? Make sure you're always enjoying it. That's the right. It doesn't say oneg. It's simcha. Joy, simcha, is the recognition that your life is amazing. It may not be easy right now, but God has given me an opportunity to grow, to connect to Him, to connect to others, to lift others, that whatever's happening, it's like, whatever's happening in your life, it's an opportunity. And good will come from it, right? That God loves you and He's trying to refine you and shape you, right? He's trying to make it's all a gift. It's all a gift. If you look at the world and you say, you know what, the world just stinks. The world's unfortunate, right? I'm bummed, I'm not happy, and I hate the world. It's like, it's just unfortunate, right? The world's just unfortunate. Or the worst, the world's random. Why is this happening to me? Because God is incapable of preventing this from happening to me. That's hard. Right? There's a book that was written, Why Bad Things Happen to Good People. And his answer is because God is basically a weak, useless nudnik who couldn't stop it. Right? That's depressing. It's really hard to think I live in a world where the ultimate creator is just too weak to get anything done. Kushner. It's Why Bad Things Happen to Good People. And his ultimate premise is bad things happen to good people because God can't stop it.
It's not a religious book.
It's a conservative Reconstructionist Jewish book. It's not a Torah Jewish book. It's an approach. It's written by a rabbi. It's an absolutely un-Jewish approach.
God doesn't have the ability.
Right. It's an absolutely un-Jewish. It's basically, we saw the mission before. It talks about people who interpret Torah, all not according to halacha, right? That you come up with your own answer that makes sense to you. And you say, well, this is Torah, because as long as I can make up anything I want, then I can make up anything I want. That's not the Torah approach. The Torah approach is you can say, we talk about the Torah has 2 names for God, right? Yud Kei Vav Kei and Elokeinu. So one is God dealing with the world under the attribute of mercy, and the other is God dealing with the world in the attribute of justice. There's no name of God that implies God dealing with the world in the attribute of capriciousness or weakness or uselessness or indecisiveness, right? God deals with the world either justly or kindly. Whatever happens to you is either appropriate for you You may not like it, but it's appropriate. Or it's a kindness. That's it. It's the only way he deals with you. You're not allowed to say about anything that happens to you that it's meaningless or that it's pointless. Right? You can say, I don't quite get it. Right? I do not understand. I would tell you, when the doctor first looked at me and said, get your affairs in order, right? You know, when they start giving you odds of survival that, you know, are bad, you know, if they were the batting average of a minor league baseball player, you'd fire him. Right? When they look at the study and it says, you know, with this medication, it raises the likelihood of a 6-month survival rate, you know, to 15%. And this one raises the likelihood of a 6-month survival rate to, 30%. And you're like, no. So it was easy to get mad at God. Right? I'll tell you, I was angry. It doesn't strike me as appropriate. It doesn't strike me as fair. It still doesn't. I've come to the conclusion that that's not the path that I'm taking. But it's not, you didn't look at it and say, Hashem, you're too weak to deal with this. Hashem, you're too stupid to know what you're doing. I can be angry at him. I can look at him and say it's not fair. But I can't look at him and say you're weak. Right? Which you have to get over, which you have to get to, which is difficult. Is to say, this is my helek, right? This is my portion, and it's good. I don't get it. I don't know why I have to go through it. I'll tell you, Monday morning when they hook me up to that stuff and they start pumping poison into me, and for the next 2 days life just stinks, oneg will not be part of my day. I will not be happy and taking pleasure in the moment. But I recognize that getting through that wall is moving me on the next step on the journey that I'm going through life. And that's simcha. It's a much harder emotion to hear. It's a much harder emotion to feel. But it is one of the gateways to wisdom. Is the recognition that everything in your life is good. And whatever I face, I'll take simcha. I know good will come from this. I know that I can build on this. I know that I can grow through this. I know that even if my body hates it, my soul will be perfected. Right? It's hard to say, and I still sometimes feel stupid saying because my life has been so blessed. So I see other people with real problems, But that's simcha. It's a euphoria, it's an energy, it's a power that you get. Now you feel it sometimes more easily. It's much easier to be, b'simcha at a wedding than at a cancer diagnosis, sitting here. It's harder to be b'simcha sitting in the oncologist's office. It's easier to be b'simcha at a wedding because you have much more clarity. It's easier for me to see the good that's going to arise from the wedding than to see the good that's going to arise from the fact that they're shoving a needle into that thing. It's hard to feel. But ultimately, that's the goal. The goal is to feel b'simcha. Is to recognize when someone asks you, how's life? It's like, life is good. You know what? Especially realize life is good when you're not sure you're going to get that much more of it, It's good stuff, this whole life thing. It's all good. Ema, Yira, Anava, Simcha, Tahara. Ema. You can't be a cynic and you can't see the world as mundane. If you want to grow to Chachma, the first thing you have to do is be able to recognize there are things in the world that make you say, wow, whoa, that's cool, right? Second is Yira, fear. You have to recognize that you have to be that there's things in your life that are precious and that you know that your choices matter. Anava, the charisma of humility. I want to be great. I recognize who I am and what my skills are, and what my strengths are, and what my weaknesses are, and I recognize it's not all about me. I want to be part of something. I want to build. I want greatness. I want meaning. I want connection to something that's bigger than I am. Bsimcha. I'm joyful. I take pleasure in the potential of my life. Everything I see in my life is good, and good will grow from it.